Hello besties, it is Becky here with Bestie Becky's Crafts, and today's video is a birthday card that goes along with the flower vase that I just finished making, and I decided to go with butterflies. I use the same paper pad that I used for the vase for the flowers, and when you open it, there's a little surprise inside. It's a pop-up. You see that? I'm out as far as... Oh, I thought it was out as far as my camera would go. There. You see that? My butterflies pop up. Really fun and easy to make. And then there's the back side. Of course, I created with love. So let's go ahead and get started. So, to start off, we'll start with our base of our card, which is, in this case, I used white, and it is cut to 11.5 inches by 5 3/4 inches, and on the 11.5 inch side, let me get my scoreboard up here. And on the 11.5 inch side, I am going to score at 5 3/4. Let's go ahead and do that score. And then I'll set my scoreboard off to the side for right now. We will need it again. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold my card base in half, like so. And just reinforce that fold. Okay, so there's our card base, and then we're going to go ahead and mat it. And so for the first mat, I use this pretty green paper here that has almost like a lace finish on it, and I cut this piece to 5.5 by 5.5. So my card base is square. Basically, it's just a square piece. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back. You can use whatever glue you would like. You could use tearaway tape. You could use your ATG tape. I'm just using my wet glue, 3-in-1 glue, because my tape runner adhesive is, I think, downstairs. So I just haven't gotten it yet. Alright, so I'm going to just glue that to the front. Make sure it's glued down nice and firm. Alright, and then we're going to do our next mat, which I picked up this really pretty paper with rose, and it's got rose gold accents on it. And this mat is cut to 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it just gives me that little 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And again, use my wet glue. And you know, you don't have to mat it this many times. You could, you know, just mat it once or decorate the front however you would like. The fun part is the pop-up on the inside. Alright, so there's that mat. Alright, and now I'm going to set this off to the side. We have a decorative strip. This little decorative strip right here that runs underneath our top mat. So we're going to go ahead and decorate that now before we glue our top mat on, because of course it's glued underneath. So this piece is 5.5 inches long by 1 inch wide. I hope there's not too much of a glare. I chose it because it brings out the rose gold in the leaves and dots here on this mat. So my trick to making the knot here for the ribbon. I chose this ribbon just because I didn't want it to be too much on the front. I wanted you to still be able to see the rose gold underneath, and I didn't want it to cover up the butterflies in the front. So that's why I went with a sheer ribbon. But you could choose any ribbon you wanted, or you wouldn't even have to do the ribbon. You could just leave the ribbon off. And I just use painter's tape, blue painter's tape, to hold my ribbon on. And what I do is I come out so far, and I'm going to tie a knot, and I'm using my Tombow adhesive. It's just a good size. You can tie it around whatever you wanted. Alright, and I'm going to leave enough of a tail to go underneath my cardstock, which actually in this case I've left kind of more than what I needed, but that's okay. And then you're just going to tie it in a knot. Alright, just like so. Okay, so you got that? I just tied my ribbon around it, just tied it into a knot, and then I'm just going to slide it off. My Tombow is a mess. Whew. I need to clean it off big time. Okay, so I've slid it off. So now I've got this loop, I've got my knot, I've got a tail here, I've got a tail here, and then I have my loop. I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut that loop. I'm going to try and do it in the center as much as I can. Alright, just like that. And so that gives me my two tails to my knot. Just like this. See? My two tails. And then there's my knot in the center. And I'm going to go ahead and angle. Trying to figure out which way I'm going to angle the ribbon, and I want to make sure that it's even, like so. Or thing is, you can't add it once you take it away, right? Alright, and then before I wrap it around, I'm going to put some fray check on the end of this ribbon, right, because this ribbon will fray, can fray. Oh, and it's not working. Nope, it's stuck in there. Well, alright. I would add fray check to the end of the ribbon, no matter what kind of ribbon it is. I'm a big pro fray check person. Alright, so anyway, we're gonna glue our ribbon onto our 1-inch wide piece here. So what I'm gonna do is, this is where I'm gonna use my tearaway tape. Just a little bit. Oh, about 1 inch long. Doesn't have to be precise. I'm just going to put it on the back here. And this is just to hold the ribbon in place, because you're going to glue it down anyway. But this just kind of helps to keep it all together. Alright. Burnish that a little bit. Okay. And then let's take off one side, and one side I'm going to want pretty close to the end, so I'm just going to kind of center it. You can see that. I need to zoom in a little bit. Alright, I'm going to kind of center it on that 1-inch piece, and then just bring it around to the back where I have my tape, and it's got a hold of it. Alright, and then I can cut off that tail, and I'm not going to worry about fray check on this because it's going to be glued and it's not going to go anywhere. Alright, And then I'm going to bring it along to the other side. Now don't pull too tight because you don't want it to bow. But, oops, I should have removed my adhesive backing here. There we go. You're not going to want to do it too tight. And then you're going to just bring it to the back, and then it's going to catch it. And then you can go ahead and cut it off. There you go. And there you have your ribbon. But I want to keep it in the center, so what I did was I just took some good old glue dots and no, I don't have my little pick thing. Let's see if this works. Pull it off. Alright, there we go. So to kind of keep this in the center, I'm just going to put a glue dot down in a couple of places that I know that my other mat is going to cover up. Just to kind of keep everything down in place until I get it glued. Okay? Just like that. So now we can glue this piece down in place. And what I did, about an inch up from that last mat. So I'm just going to put my wet glue on the back. Now I can zoom back out a little bit so we don't miss anything. Alright, so I'm going to put my wet glue on the back here. I'm going to make sure that I'm gluing my knot on the right side. You know, it's that what measure twice, cut once kind of a thing. Alright, so there, that's glued down. And then my third mat, I decided to use this green. And it's going to go like that. And so it measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So it's 5 1/4 this way by 4 inches. So it comes to the same size as that last mat that we did. And again, I'm going to put some wet glue on the back. Oops. I can't lift it up. There we go. Alright, so I want to be close to that knot and leave a little bit of space, 2 over here so you can see the paper, but I don't want to cover up my knot. Just make sure it's straight. Okay. Push it down really good. Make sure we get a good seal. There we go. Alright. So, we're almost finished with the front of our card. The last thing is the butterflies. Aren't they pretty? I did stamp this last mat before I put it on the card, just because it's easier to do that in case you goof up and then you haven't ruined your whole card. And I use my Misty to make sure that it is all straight, because I'm just kind of a perfectionist that way. And it would have been nice too, I could have embossed it. So you put any sentiment you want on it. You could also, you know, mat that in some way if you would like. And I got that Happy Birthday to You from a Stampin' Up! Stamp set. And it is right there. And it's from the Best Bunnies stamp set. So that's where I got my Happy Birthday to You. And then my butterflies, which I think are so cool. Aren't they just cool? They are from a Stamp and Die set. The stamp set looks like this, and it's called Beauty Abounds. And it again is from Stampin' Up. You see that? So I didn't use any of the stamps, but I did use the die set that comes with it. And this is the die set. And it cuts out these butterflies, and it cuts out smaller butterflies. There's just a ton. I don't know if I can open it real quick. There's just a ton of stuff butterfly related on it, and it's really cool. So it cuts out the background, the pink part there, the butterfly. This one does that. And see, it's got vines, and it's got little butterflies, all kinds of stuff. And then the other one cuts out the smaller part, which is the rose gold part, to add an accent. So, I mean, you don't need to use this one, but of course it adds something to it. But it's cool. It's a cool die set, I think. So I use that, and I even use the little butterflies, which you'll see later. So I went ahead and did the back side of the butterflies in pink, and then of course the top part in rose gold to kind of tie everything together, because the roses on here are pink. So if I would have done green, you wouldn't have seen the butterflies. And then I wanted to do the rose gold just to kind of, like I said, tie it all together. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue and just kind of glue around and on the ends of the antennas there. Oops, got off their little bodies. When I glued the rose gold coloring to the pink, I used a pen that has a glue pen with a really fine tip on it. So the underneath part is a little more space. So real exciting watching me glue, right? This is a pretty big die, really. Okay, so then I just use my tweezers and make sure that I'm not in any glue. And I want my butterflies to fit within my card. Don't want them sticking out, but I want my happy birthday to show too. So just kind of a little maneuvering to get it where I want it. So that looks pretty good. And there we go. There's the front of our card. And any glue that seeps out, this art glitter glue, you won't see it because it dries clear. So, alright, there's the front of our card. Easy peasy. Alright, so you ready for the inside? Alright, so for the inside, I'm going to put my pen in my art glitter glue. I don't want it to dry out. These lights get hot. So for the inside, alright, we're going to do the inside of the card. We're going to mat it first, and I'm going to use the same matte color as I did for the front of my card. Alright, so for that piece, I cut it to 11 1/4 by 5 1/2. Alright, and then this is where we need our scoreboard again. And on the 11 1/4 inch side, we are going to score at 5 1/2. Alright. There it is. So I'm scoring at 5.5. Alright, and then we'll put this to the side for a minute because we're going to need it again. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and fold on that score line, and I'm going to give it a nice crease. And I think I screwed up. I must have done my math wrong. You know, I was making this card last night at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I just cut that 1/4 inch off. So, cut to 11 inches by 5.5 inches and score at 5.5. That's kind of funny. It's not going to matter. Not going to matter. If it does, we'll fix it. Alright, so that just gives us a little bit more on the edge there. I did my math wrong. I should have just folded it. Okay, anyway. We're going to take our glue. And what I like to do is I glue one side first. I don't know why. I glue one side first. I think just so that I don't have, you know, a whole bunch to worry about, you know, with glue. You know, sometimes mean glue can be dangerous. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some in the center of the card, but don't go all the way to the edges, okay? And then I'm going to slide my card in here, and I'm going to center it. Okay, so I'll have like 1/8 of an inch on each side. Okay, and then making sure that it's in that corner or in the center there. Push it in there and really make sure that we get it nice and in that middle fold. Okay? Because we want our card to be able to open flat. So now we're going to glue the other side. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. If there's a right way to do it, this is just how I do it. And make sure we get it in there good and it folds and that it'll lay flat. Alright. Make sure we got that glue spread around. Okay. Alright. We're looking pretty good. So let's work on our next mat. I don't know if you guys should trust me though. My measurements. That's funny. Okay, so I'm setting that off to the side. Now for the next layer. Okay, this is our next layer. This is where we make our pop-up, our little fun triangle pop-up. I don't know, can you see? It's a triangle. Okay, so I need to get an embellishment tool and my ruler and a pencil. Oh, I came to my video here unprepared. Alright, so we need our scoreboard again. I don't know if you can trust me with this. Alright, so this is cut to 11 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And you know what? That's going to be the same width as the last mat we cut. So we need to take some off. Okay? So let me get my paper trimmer, because we don't want it the same, because then why have a mat, you know? So, my paper trimmer, I'm going to do 2 10 3/4, because I just want that 1/8 of an inch. Alright, you see that? So I'm just taking 1/4 of an inch off. Crazy! Alright, so that was to 10 3/4. And I'm not going to do my math right now to figure out where to score it at. I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to fold it in half, because it takes a little while for my brain to work. So we're just going to fold it in half. Well, what size does that make it? You're scoring at 5 3/8. Okay. Let's bring our other card in here and make sure that that mat works. Yep. Gives us an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Perfect. Okay. So, now this is where the magic happens, okay? So, we're going to close our mat here, and we have our pencil and we have our ruler, and we are going to measure down 3 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and put my ruler at 3 inches. I'm going to mark 3 inches down, and then on the folded, this is going to be my top, okay? I'm going to make a mark at 2 1/4 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I'm going to bring my 3-inch mark across. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and I'm going to measure 2 1/4 inches along the top. Okay, so that should be the same on both sides. So if you open it, this is our top edge and this is our bottom edge. Alright, we measured down 3 inches, made a mark. From the fold, measured it out 2 1/4 inches, made a mark, and did the same on the other side. Alright, done with our pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it back up, and then I'm going to use an embossing tool, and it has kind of a small little ball there on the end. I'm going to use my metal ruler, and I'm going to go from my 3-inch mark to my 2 1/4 mark. I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to emboss. Run it across a few times just to make sure. Alright, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line it up through on that 3-inch mark and that 2 1/4 inch mark, and emboss. Alright, so we are done with those. So if we open it up, I don't know if you can see, we've got a triangle there. Right? Now I want to erase my pencil lines, so grab my eraser here. We don't, am I shaking the table? Sorry. Try not to. Don't want them to show. They might show, they might not. I don't want to take a chance. I don't want to go to all this work and then you see, oh, there's pencil lines. Okay, so now where that score line is you're going to bend it, okay? And just kind of do it gently to get it started, and it'll fold. Alright, see? There it's folding. Okay? And then we're going to gently do the same on the other side, where that score line is. Just gently fold it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to push that middle down, and you're going to end up with a nice little fold. Hopefully. Yep. And go ahead and take your bone folder. Give that a good crease on both sides. And there you go. You open it up. And there's your triangle. See? There's your pop-up. Alright, so let's go ahead and glue this to the inside of our card. So hopefully our card will be willing to fold here. Yep. Okay, so of course we don't want to glue this part, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it folded so I don't accidentally glue it. And then I'm going to run glue and I'm going to go close that edge, because you know that edge is going to get a lot of work every time they open and close. So then I'm going to kind of go up 1/8 of an inch, put it in the center, and then make sure I'm lined up pretty good there. And I'm going to make sure that my center score line is in the center. And push it down. Push that glue around. And then we're going to just keep it folded and glue the other side. Isn't that easy? Oh, super easy pop-up. A fun one, I think. Especially with the butterflies. Alright, so now I'm just going to lay it flat. Make sure we get a good seal. And fold it back up. Make sure it works. Make sure we're in that center. Good. Very straight. And there we go. Alright. Now, the fun part. Let's decorate the inside. You ready? Alright, so when we decorate the inside, we want to make sure that whatever we put here doesn't stick above the card when we fold it shut. Alright, so just something to keep in mind when you're putting whatever you want to put up on there. And you want to make sure that it stays within the fold on whichever side you decorate. Alright, so that you can close your card. Alright, so what I did was I went ahead and I cut out more butterflies, and I cut off a few butterflies. But I'm not going to let them go to waste. I'm going to use them, and actually I cut out a few extras too, because as you see in this one, I decorated the other side as well as some on this side. Alright, so let's go ahead and glue these here. Alright, so in practicing with the other one, I kind of just figured out that I only need to put glue on this one wing of this butterfly, like half, not to its body, right? So I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to make sure that I have enough glue on this butterfly's body that he stays glued down. Alright, so I'm putting little dots here and there, you know, making sure we get a good seal. Alright, and then I'm just going to put it up to the center and push it down. And it's butted up right against that crease, that fold. And then I'm going to go ahead and, I got some leaking out down there, I'm going to go ahead and fold it and push down on it and make sure that it's good and sealed. Alright, and then pop it back up, just like so. Alright, do it a few times. The more you do it, you know, the easier it pops up and down. Isn't that just so fun? Okay, so let's go ahead and finish our decorating. So I went ahead and decided to put the sentiment down here, and I used from the same paper pad and did the rose gold around just to kind of tie it all together. And I used the Wishing You a Lovely Day right here from the Forever Lovely stamp set and Stampin' Up. I used this sentiment, and then I used some smaller butterfly here from the same die set as this, and I just did him in green. So let's go ahead and glue this down, and this way I know how much room I have to decorate the rest of the card. So we take this, and I'm going to put it down here in the corner and kind of center it so that it's even on the sides and straight. Alright, and now let's finish our decorating. So I'm going to go ahead and put a small butterfly up here, and it's just one of the butterflies that I cut off from this. So that made it pretty easy, and I'm going to use my tweezers here. Now I wouldn't use like bling or a lot of bling, you know, maybe use some bling down here if you wanted to, but there's a lot going on in here, and I don't think you want to bulk it up too much, and that might get in the way of it opening and closing. Not quite sure. And then this was another butterfly that's this one right here, which I cut off over here. The smaller one was on the other side, which I cut off. So I just had to make 2 extra little butterflies, and when I die cut, I just die cut the areas where those wore. I didn't do the whole thing again. So I don't know, hope that made sense. I just die cut what I needed. There. Alright, so this one I'm going to put on the other side. Kind of look at how I did my other one. And he's going to go down here in the corner. like I said, any glue that seeps out, this art glitter glue will turn clear. And then let's do the other big one. Alright. And that one, I think I put up near the top. Oop. He moved big time. There we go. And then I've got my small one here. And my tweezers. And let's put this one right here. There. Alright, so there we have the inside of our card, like so. Alright, and then there's one last thing we need to do. We need to do our little created, my little created with a love. Stamp. Since it's going to my grandma, I didn't need to put my other one on there with my full name and stuff. She knows who I am. Alright. So, there we go. We are finished. We have our finished card. Wasn't that easy? Really not that difficult. I guess just don't follow my math, right? I'm just teasing. So, there we go. I think that she'll like it to go along with the vase. Yeah. Alright. I hope you give it a try. It's really easy, really fun, and so many different ways you could decorate it or use this card. So, have a great evening. Thanks for stopping by. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like what you saw. And I hope you give it a shot. Happy crafting, and I will see you next time. Bye.